I have partnered up with Alois to make a brand new Mordekaiser and Garen guide on the Summoner School website. I gave out every single piece of information that I thought was relevant to both champions and everything that I use personally. It explains how you should play in the mid to late game, itemization, champion matchups, and more. Each guide also has a unique matchup spreadsheet. If you want to check either guide out, you can use my link in the video description. With all that being said, please enjoy this video. Right now, in my opinion, the best setup to run into Zaahen is this one rune-wise, and you basically always want to rush Bramblevest. The armor combined with the heal cut feels pretty good into him. And then after Bramblevest, you can go for plated steel caps or just go into your Rift Maker. You can win most short trades, but you have to space correctly. That is the most important thing here. Spacing matters a lot into Zaahen. For example, what Zaahen can do is knock you up with his second Q, and then use his E right after to guarantee the edge damage, and then you're just going to lose that trade most of the time. But if you have your W stacked and you W just before that combo happens, you won't take any damage, and then it's essentially a neutral trade. Also, it is very good to keep in mind the fact that Zaahen's ultimate will stop yours. If he times it properly, it will get stopped. Another thing you can do is Q just before Zaahen pulls you with his W. That way you will still deal the Q damage onto him. And you can also wait with your E until he uses his own E. That way it will be easier to line it up. Never let his passive fully stack or you will basically always lose. And that is because it will be really difficult for you to fight him after he revives. So ideally just keep short trading into him and Q poke him from max range. That is basically all you need to do. After Rift Maker you can go for something like Bloodletter's Curse or even a Liandry's. Most Zaahens go for Trinity Force first and then maybe Sundered Sky. And that will give him a lot of health. Which means that the Liandry second will give you a lot of burn damage into him and that will help you duel him. From the amount of times I've played this lane, it's not actually that difficult, you just have to space correctly and not greed. Initially, I was going to go for a Kanek Rookern here or a Force of Nature. That is why I ended up buying the Negatron Cloak. But what I end up doing is actually going for Spirit Visage. And the reason I decide to do this instead of continuing the Rookern or Force of Nature is because I am now super fed and I can just tank up through all their damage. Kanek, Rookern, or Force of Nature generally provide more tankiness on the magic resist side of things. Force of Nature gives you a lot of MR when you actually stack it up, on top of the movement speed, and Kanek Rookern gives you a base amount of 80 MR plus that shield. But because I am so strong, I can straight up buy Spirit Visage and that will give me more value with the passive. Because my W shield will get increased, my Riftmaker healing will get increased, and any additional shielding or healing that Janna puts on me will also get increased. So I thought it would be better to go for Visage instead here. There won't be any audio in the game until level 6 or so. Afterwards, it's going to return. I just messed something up on my end. This is a pretty skilled matchup for both sides. Aatrox can do a lot, but you can also do a lot. For example, you can disrupt his combo when he uses his W on you by pulling him. And then that might make it to where he will miss his Q1 or Q2 sweet spot. You can use your E and make it to where his Q3 sweet spot goes over you. He can use his E to dodge your E. You can both Q each other at the same time. You can use your ultimate to remove the W zone off of you. There's a lot of outplaying that the both of you can do here, and spacing is rather important. It is crucial that you make sure that you take as little chip damage as possible in this lane, especially in the early game. You can fight him even pre-6, but you have to be more careful. Oblivion Orb is very good into Aatrox, but Bramble Vest can also work. Typically, if he goes Sundered Sky, even if he is behind, you will need to buy Oblivion Orb. And that is because the moment he buys Sundered Sky, his healing spikes up so hard. So it is quite good to purchase it even if he's not super ahead. What I like to do is after buying Oblivion Orb or Bramble Vest is go into Rylai's. And then the moment you have Rylai's, Aatrox basically cannot escape you. He will have to fight you in melee range or he will die. There isn't really a way for him to escape you unless he dashes over a wall and then you can't chase him. You can stick to him really well because of your approach velocity movement speed. After Rylai, you can build situationally. Maybe Aatrox goes for a Maw of Mordius, so then you buy a Bloodletter's Curse to shred down his MR. But you can also go for something like a Liandry. If he goes for example for Sundered Sky and then Spear of Shojin, he will have a lot of extra health. So the Liandry will help out a lot there. Maybe you build a Hextech Rocket build for the enemy team overall or a Hex Plate. You can both side lane and team fight into him. The only issue with team fighting is the fact that if he gets a reset with his ultimate, he will be a huge threat. So you can try to ulti him early in a fight to make sure that doesn't happen. Now that I have my Rylai's, I can just look to permafreeze on my side of the lane, and then he will never be able to walk up the farm. If I really want to, I can straight up just ulti him even if he's full health, and I will still be able to chase him down and kill him. He will never ever be able to escape me now. So if I decide to freeze, someone needs to come and help him. But I can still make it a 1-for-1 even if he gets help due to my ultimate. So the enemy team might not have such an easy time fighting me here. This is a pretty skilled matchup for both sides. One of the more important things to keep in mind here is the fact that Renekton's empowered W will break your W shield, and that can make it really awkward for you to fight him, because if you want to hold it, he can also hold your W, and then the moment you press your shield, he will break it. But he does need 50 Fury for that to happen. If it's not empowered, it won't break it. Another thing that you can do is quickly press your W twice. That way you will still gain some value out of your W, because even though the shield to heal conversion won't be as high, at least you get some value. Getting a little bit of health from the shield is better than getting zero. What I like to do is rush Bramblevest into Renekton or plated steel caps. And then after that, I'm going to go for Riftmaker. Bramblevest plus Haunting Guys is an especially good combo to have, and you get a huge power spike once you acquire that. Another very good combo is Bramble plus plated steel caps plus Haunting Guys. What Renekton wants to do most of the time is just short trade into you. He will dash in, then do auto W, Q, and then dash away. Or he will do dash in, auto W, auto Q, and then dash away. What you want to do is make sure you don't get short traded like this all the time, because eventually all these short trades will lead to an all-in. And if he is running Ignite especially, be very careful of his burst. What you can also do is use your E during his W animation, because he will be stuck in it. If he actually empowers his W, the animation will be even longer, meaning there is a higher chance your pool will actually catch him and pull him back towards you, and then he might not be able to escape the short trade and you might even win it. Once you get to Riftmaker, you are basically good to go and you should be able to win the lane. But you don't have to play super passive early on. When you hit level 6, you actually have an advantage into him if you are both full health. And you especially have an advantage if you are actually running Ignite and he isn't. If he ends up rushing Blade of the Ruin King first, take Thornmail as your second item. He will essentially need to have both Blade of the Ruin King and Black Cleaver to 1v1 you at that point. And even when he gets Cleaver plus Blade of the Ruin King, you still might be able to duel him out. I should have ultied the moment he used his ult. If I actually did that, then I would be able to win the 1v1. I don't know why I did it so late. I also end up purchasing an Oblivion Orb here. And the reason I go Oblivion Orb over Bramblevest is because they have other healing sources. Mainly the Swain ulti healing. And there is absolutely no way Swain will actually get the heal cut from Bramblevest on himself. Because he can just choose not to auto attack me. So I would rather have the Oblivion Orb, which will allow me to just proc it onto him with my damage.
Dear friends, please stop dying. Love, Akshay.
Thank you guys for joining me in this video. I hope you found the information useful, and I will see you in the next video, hopefully very soon.